Yeah, the property has been involved in our family since about 1905. It was originally 186 hectares and now it's about 485, about 450 effective, and it's changed in land use a lot. It's gone from traditional sheep and cattle, complete with a South Down stud, then moved to producing prime beef for supermarkets with about 1,500 ewes, and then gradually the ewe numbers reduced and it converted solely to a bull fattening unit. Now we're lucky to have the next generation involved, and we've got a little bit more of a diverse mix. We've got maize growing, we've got maize silage, maize grain, still got a bull fattening unit. We have a winter lamb fattening policy, and we also have some land involved in market gardening. We lease that to a market gardener, just a small amount. Interesting to see the changes. Property had a lot of mature shelter belts that were all removed. They had reached their use-by date, and so there's been a policy of replacing those with more suitable species and developing ponds and trees and trying to put a balanced environment back in place. Yeah, the interest in developing the property with some focus on environmental balance really came from the 60s, when the existing shelter belts, which were mainly pine and microcarpa, had reached a stage where they needed to be removed. So they were removed enthusiastically with chainsaws and bulldozers, and suddenly I realised we had a very open property. And at that time a lot of country guys were involved in the Acclimatisation Society, and we were starting to be exposed to tree planting of other species, and a lot of these were for the benefit of birds, and this particular area is near the Whangamarino wetlands, and so there's a lot of wildlife in this general area. And so from that exposure to Acclimatisation Society, we started to plant ponds and a much wider variety of trees, and we planted oaks and texadiums and a lot of trees that were not only attractive, but they also had the ability to feed wildlife. And also the shelter belt component, we moved into different species, and we're still learning about that. The tree planting program is really a win-win. On the cold hard cash side, it actually pays. It makes your property more attractive and it makes it easier to sell. You get the benefit of shelter and you get the benefit of a particularly pleasant workplace. The waterways, we have about 6 kilometres of boundary with the Wairanga stream, which flows directly into the Whangamarino swampland, and we have fenced that the entire length, that stock have no access to that water at all, and we've planted the banks of that stream in order to hold the banks and to remain a buffer zone for nutrients. And we've planted about 1,100 flaxes, and we've encouraged the regrowth of tea tree and totara around the banks of that stream.
We have a no plugging policy, if you like, here, and we have broken the farm down into separate blocks based on their soil type and soil structure. We do regular soil testing every year on every single maize paddock. We do a nutrient budget as well, so that gives us an idea of what's going in and what's going out.
Both David and I can work together very well on this property, and it's exciting for me to watch the next generation come in and take the farm up to the next level.